Hello everyone and welcome to the Cricut Craft Room. I'm Natasha and I'm going to talk about all you Joy owners, or I'm going to talk to all you Joy owners, or if you've been thinking about getting a Joy, then this video is perfect for you. Today I'm going to be walking through how to make labels. Do you have New Year's resolutions where you want to get organized, or if you just feel like you want to take your hosting to the next level at your next dinner party? This video I'm going to show you how to make labels with Cricut Joy App. Today I have my friend Chris who's going to be answering questions. So if you have any questions, be sure to comment them on this video and we will try to get to them. So I'm going to walk you through a pre-recorded. I'm going to show you the steps of how to make these two types of different labels. The first type is going to require transfer tape, and the other type of label is going to be a written label. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, today we're going to use the Cricut Joy app. And this is just a little preview of what the labels that I'm drawing are going to look like. So these are the materials that you'll need today. Of course, I have my spice jars, which I'm going to label, and I'm also going to label these drink dispensers. And I'm going to show you again two different types of labels you can make with your Cricut Joy and the Cricut Joy app. So I, of course, am going to be using my Cricut Joy machine, which is so handy, and the Cricut Joy pen, which comes with the machine. Then I'm going to be using Smart Label writable vinyl, and then later on when we do a cut, we're going to use transfer tape. So let's go ahead and get started on the phone. Now, if you have the Cricut Joy app, you can pull that up or you can download it on the iOS store. And there are so many things that you can make. You can make insert cards, quick labels, iron-on, vinyl stickers, and even paper crafts. So it's just a simple way that you can make a quick, everyday, 15-minute or less project. It's so convenient and right on your phone. So let's start by looking at the labels. So this screen right here shows you everything that you'll need for the labels. It'll tell you the supplies, it has some links to videos that can help you out, but this app is really geared to walk you through every step so that you're not left hanging and you just basically follow the green button prompts, which is really super simple and easy to follow. Okay, so we are going to start making. So here I have different categories. I can choose a minimal cutout, I can choose a decorative cutout. There are also drawn labels as well as letter-only cut labels. So there's a variety of different categories and different types. But for these labels today, I'm going to be doing a drawn label, and I'm going to choose this bottom right label right there. And here is the next screen where you can choose which size you want your labels to be. There is a minimum of 3.47 inches and, for the width, and that's how wide I want my labels to be for these spice jars. So then I just enter the text that I want the labels. I have my thyme here, and I also have some curry powder. So if I was doing more than these two spice jars, then I could click the plus button and add more, as many as I want, but today I'm just going to preview and show you how to do these two. Okay, and if I wanted to change the label style, I can always go back, but this preview screen shows me what the labels will look like when they're drawn and cut out. Again, I can edit down at the bottom, change anything, but I'm going to hit next. Okay. Then here we have the screen where we decide which material we're using, which today we are using, like I said, the Smart Label writable vinyl. And what does Smart Label mean? Well, basically, Smart Label means that I don't have to put this material on a mat. It's smart because it's matless and I can put the material directly into the machine. So there's a backer which shows a little grid and helps you measure sometimes. But you simply just feed the material into the machine and it's so easy and great. Then you can also see I don't need a mat, so I have selected without a mat, and I'm just going to connect to my machine via Bluetooth. Then we'll wait for that to connect, And there we go. We are good to go and connecting. So next, I love how this app shows me and prompts me what I need to do next. And it gives me a little video of how I should do that. So I am going to follow that little video and feed the material in with both hands. And now the machine is measuring how much material I need for this project. Okay, then it prompts me next that I need to insert my fine point pen. So I will unclamp this housing right here. I have my pen and I will take the cap off and replace the blade that comes with it with the pen and just set that pen in there and then clamp up. Okay, then once that's good to go, we'll hit go. And now my machine is preparing to complete the project, and it's drawing, and it gives me a little dial of percentage of how much is done. So you can see here the machine has started to draw. And I've sped it up here just so you didn't have to, watch the whole thing, but you can see that the machine is drawing the label, which is great. Now it's prompting me that I need to remove the pen and insert the blade. So I'll do the same thing I did before where I unclamp, take the pen out, and I'll put the blade back in and close the clamp. And then I will press go on the app again. And now my machine knows that it needs to cut out the label. And I love how precise this machine is. It's perfect for any kind of labels and designing. Okay, so once this is done cutting, I will unload and I will just trim down the material. But what I love about this app is it shows you again how you can place the label and how you're supposed to prep it and put it on and transfer everything. So I've already prepped these jars, and so they're nice and clean. I did that before this video, but now that those are nice and clean, I can go ahead and get ready to put these labels on. So I'm just going to trim down so I can save the rest of the material for another project, and I don't have to, deal with the hassle of the whole roll. So you can see here, everything is perfectly drawn and ready and cut and ready to be peeled and placed on my jars. So I'm going to go ahead and take the time label off of the backer. It can be a little tricky because it's white on white, but you'll find the cut. And it's perfectly cut to match the drawn line. So now I'll take my jar and just decide where I want the label on my jar. Okay, then I will take my next label. I have my curry powder label. I will peel it off of the backer and then simply place it on my jar. So again, if you're just joining us today, we are using the Cricut Joy today and the Cricut Joy app to make labels. And there we go, we have our two labels. And now I wanted to show you a different kind of label. Did you see before on the app that there were different categories of labels? Well, I'm going to show you a little preview. Here we go. I made a fruit punch label for this drink dispenser, and I'm going to show you how to do that again on the app. Super simple. Again, we'll go to quick labels and we'll start making again. And then here are the categories I was talking about. There's the minimal cutout, there's the decorative cutout, drawn, which is the example that we just went through before. But now we are going to do a simple cutout. So I'm going to choose this design right here. And again, I can decide which dimensions I want for my drink dispenser, but 3 inches wide is about right for me. So then I decide what I want the labels to say. And I'm going to choose lemon water for this first one. And for the second one, I'm going to choose lemonade's a little bit too similar. I want to show you variety, so let's do fruit punch. Again, if I wanted to add more than just 2, I could click the plus button and add more, but just wanted to show you 2 examples. Okay, so then we have our preview screen. We'll choose our material. We are using the Smart Label writable vinyl again. We're not writing this time, but we'll still use that vinyl. And then we'll connect to our machine via Bluetooth. Okay, again, love how it shows you what to do. Next, you are not left hanging, so we know we need to feed the material in. It's now measuring how much we need, and it can start cutting after I make sure that my blade is inserted and I can press go. Okay, so I forgot to speed up this part of the video, so it does take about a minute and a half. So I just wanted to show you kind of in real time how long it takes to cut these 2 materials. So what makes this label different than the label that we previously made with the pen is that it's cutting out the words. And so when we weed or take out the parts of the design that we don't want transferred onto the drink dispenser, we'll have to use what's called transfer tape. And we'll use this little scraper tool as well as this weeding tool later on, and I'll show you how we do that. But basically, the transfer tape makes it so that you can seamlessly transfer anything that's cut onto the drink dispenser. So for example, if you think about a P or an A, if you think about the insides of those letters, then we don't want those as to be forgotten when we transfer the design. And it can be really difficult to hand peel letters. And so by using transfer tape, you can seamlessly use a piece of transfer tape on top of the whole design, use a scraper tool to make sure it gets transferred onto the transfer tape, and then peel the transfer tape away from the backer, the vinyl backer, and then you have the design on the transfer tape right side, ready to be transferred on to whatever base you are putting a label on. And this is the same for all types of vinyl. If you have something delicate, then you can definitely use transfer tape to transfer perfectly. Okay, so while we are waiting for this to cut, I'm going to answer some questions. I think Chris is helping me answer these questions, but just to recap on some of them. Someone asked if we can, what do we recommend to make stickers with? And you can either make stickers with permanent vinyl or removable vinyl. It just depends where you want to place it. So if you want like a sticker on your car, then you'd want to use permanent so it can withstand, rain or washing or things like that. Okay, so now the cut is done and I can press unload and we can close our machine. We are done with Cricut Joy for now. And now I'll take the vinyl and trim down where my designs are and place the extra material aside. And trim down one more time because we have 2 different labels and it makes it easier to weed. Okay, so now, like I said, we need to weed. So weeding is taking out the excess part of the vinyl that we don't want as part of the design. I know it's kind of hard to see because it's white on white, which makes it difficult to show you, but I tried to close up here so you can see a little bit closer what I'm doing. So I just took the outsides of the label off, and I'm going to do the same for the other label, the surroundings of the cutout. And now I'm going to use my weeding tool to take out the letters. But remember, I don't want to take the insides of some of the letters, so I'll just need to carefully weed out the letters. So one by one, I'm slowly using this weeding tool to help me pick up the parts I don't want transferred on my base. So again, I'm showing you in real time how to weed a cutout label. This is the same type of process for any other kind of vinyl project, but today I'm specifically walking you through labels for Joy. Okay. Do you guys have any other questions about vinyl specifically while I'm weeding this other one? Be sure to comment them below. And now I'm starting the second label, again, just removing the insides of the label where the letters are. And we are ready for the transfer tape. Okay, like I said, we'll need the transfer tape because we want to make sure we include the insides of letters. So I've cut out a piece of transfer tape that perfectly covers all of my label. So now I will remove the transfer tape from the transfer tape backer, put the transfer tape on top of my whole design, carefully place that, and then I will use my scraper tool to make sure that the label adheres to the transfer tape, and this is also called burnishing. So I will burnish that side, flip it over, and burnish the other side and make sure that the label is on there really well. Do the same thing for the other label. Again, I have my transfer tape. I'll take the transfer tape off the transfer tape backer. And then perfectly place over my label. I'll burnish it on this side, make sure it sticks onto the transfer tape, and then flip it over and burnish on the other side. Okay, and now we are ready to transfer onto my drink dispenser. Now, as I was filming this, it was a one-man show, so I apologize that it doesn't show up that clearly while I apply it, but I just want to make sure I have a clean surface where I'm going to apply the label. Now I can lift up the transfer tape from the vinyl backer, slowly make sure I have everything, and you can see that I have the inside of the P like I talked about, which is why we would want to use the transfer tape. And now I'm going to place it onto my drink dispenser, use my scraper tool to make sure that it sticks onto the drink dispenser instead of the transfer tape now, and then peel the transfer tape away from the drink dispenser. Slowly do that as to make sure you don't rip or, get rid of anything you don't want to get rid of. And then that's all. Then you would do the same thing for the next drink dispenser, however many bases you have, but this is the final product, a perfectly labeled fruit punch drink dispenser. This is great for parties if you want to embellish once we can go back and do those sorts of things. But really great for organizing and really just trying to get your life in order or trying to, impress everyone with your label skills, but they have no idea how simple it is to make labels with Cricut Joy App. So, what did you guys think of those two labels? Do you think you're inspired to start making labels? I encourage you, if you have a Cricut Joy, to pull it out, try using Cricut Joy App. These are great projects for beginners, and you can feel like you're being productive and make labels for your home. I've watched along and I see that Chris has been helping me answer questions here, so keep on asking questions and we can answer them later on in the comments. If you've liked this video, be sure to check out the rest of our videos on Cricut 101 playlist. It's housed in the official Cricut YouTube channel, and there's a specific playlist called Cricut 101. So these are great videos for beginners if you don't know where to start, if you want to know what is a great vinyl beginner project would be, or a great iron-on project, or if you finally want to figure out how to use infusible ink, then we have a ton of videos there to help you as you get started and as you continue to want to learn more about Cricut and all things Cricut. Thanks for joining us today. See you later.